Hello. How are you guys?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
I'm
Great.
happy to have you guys. Everybody, this is Patrick Moore. Am I pronouncing that right? Moore.
Yep, you
And
nailed it.
thank you. And Stefano Benatti. Is that how you pronounce it? I should have asked beforehand.
Oh, Stefano, not Stefano.
Stefano.
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, no problem. Every single English native speaker butchers my name, so you're just one of them.
I'm so sorry. No, that's fun to say. Not in like a rude way, but I like that. Why don't we start off by getting a little about you guys? So, Stefano, why don't you tell us about your podcast?
Yeah. So I just recently launched a podcast with a friend of mine, my co-host, and it's called Cappucino at 6. Cappuccino at sign like the email 6. You can find it on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast. Will soon be on YouTube, hopefully. And we have episodes in Italian because I'm from Italy, and also in English. And we don't have a main topic. It's just messing around and interviews and casual talks. So we're kind of experimenting a lot, and that's it.
All right, that does sound pretty nice. Patrick, do you have anything that you want to plug?
Yeah. So I have a YouTube channel. It's called LaughatPat. I do kind of just I put out videos every single Wednesday, and I do different kind of little comedy sketches and comedy skits, and I think that they're a bit weird, but I also think they're funny. So LaughatPat on YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram at LaughatPat. So check it out, and yeah, I'll be right back.
All right. So we'll give him a second. I'm gonna start pulling up the whatchamacallit slide ride game, and then I'm gonna have Stefano, I'm gonna have you go first in this, all right?
Okay, no problem.
All right, so I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm gonna have you start. All right, you can see this now, right?
Yes.
All right, so your topic for today is, well, I mean, you can see it. Go ahead and tell everybody what you're presenting to us.
Yeah, today I'm talking how to stay calm in stressful situation, just like Michael Scott from The Office when someone started a fire to test him. That's exactly the kind of, yeah. All right. So this is you when you're stressed out. No, like here comes a wrongful thought, and it starts piercing your brain, but either you're stupid enough that your brain is so soft that it absorbs the stress, or you are elastic enough that you can dodge it. That's a quite good metaphor.
Insightful.
Yes. Yeah. And that is what I always want to do with my cat when he steps in the shower, but I can't. So I just wanted to add this image to. Oh, why are they testing me now? All right. Sorry about that. These are all very stressful situations. Imagine being a cat, and you're just thirsty, but the cup with water is up there, and you have to reach it. How can we improve our thoughts, our brain to get to the goal without getting wet?
And what kind of liquid is that?
It is very, very colorful water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So this is the mood we want to get, right? Just, have you ever watched like those burp memes compilation on YouTube? This is what we want to get, where we want to get. Burps can do any sound. I mean, I know that's a penguin, but I couldn't find a burp image that meaningful. So what you're going to do is just to adapt. Like, okay, so have you ever heard a bird barking or meowing, and the cats around him are just so confused they just don't know what to think about? That's the setup you want to have to handle stress. Just adapt, improvise, adapt, overcome. Right? Like, yeah. I like memes. So,
is this you?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I actually took this picture, right? I had my girlfriend just in front of me and said, yeah, just take a picture of me. Yeah. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so it could be actually true.
I feel like I could see that in an office as like a motivational poster. You should think about selling that maybe.
Absolutely. No, that's not my grandma though.
Okay. That was
no. Yeah. As you can see, she didn't enjoy the gift that was given to her on the table right behind her. Or another situation may be that she actually made that cake and you didn't want to eat it, so she's now trying to cook you directly. I mean, well, if you dress up like a pigeon or something, I mean, you could look tasty. I mean, there's plenty of Italian chefs cooking pigeons and birds of all kinds. So yeah, don't dress up as a chicken or a pigeon when you go to grandma's.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Shall I read it?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Just read exactly how it is.
Right. So my recent stressful situation, I was recently fired for my job as a professional deodorant tester. So that's why I'm here. I mean, you can imagine why I'm doing these kind of presentations. I went home that night, armpits empty of deodorant to find my dog had chewed up my birth certificate and all the identification documents. Sorry, reading in English is hard. Trying to.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
So, what do you think I did? I got arrested for trespassing on private property. It was the wrong house. Don't worry, my birth certificate is safe. So, what do you learn from that? That masks are useless. Just kidding. It's because I recently saw a post on Instagram and someone says, "Oh, I came back from buying groceries with my son, but it wasn't my son. So be careful with the masks." So yeah, that's why.
No, you make a compelling point.
Yeah, and in jail, I mean, I found out my path, and I'm now no longer stressed. And there you go. See how happy I am. So, yeah, I that's my new job, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't really like bananas, so I hope I can get my chicken costume back and just promote meat next time. Yeah. This is how I got fired from work. So yeah, it was supposed to be before that situation, but I'm not really good at working with PowerPoint. So there you can see me. Yeah.
Which one is you?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's more. It's more of the situation itself. Right?
I see.
It's not actually an accurate depiction of what happened. It's just the mood being represented, right?
Okay.
What does it say?
It's a Panera Bread. It's a restaurant.
Oh, we don't have that kind of things in it. I don't know how that image got it in there. So Panera bread. What do they sell?
They sell bread, basically all things bread.
All things bread.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, if life gives you lemons, I mean, make Panera bread, don't
I
you?
think in Italy, if you tried Panera, it would be considered like blasphemy as far as quality of food.
I think so. I mean, there are people just yelling because Starbucks is opening somewhere. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we want to
So
keep our
maybe they don't want
cappuccino.
soup served in a bread bowl.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
wouldn't be no, wouldn't be a thing here. One technique to help calm down is called grounding. So you look around and name 3 things you see, 3 things you smell, 3 things you feel. What do I have right around me? Do I have my phone? I have my laptop, and I have my Far Cry 5 poster on the wall. And I hope I can smell all of them, otherwise I would have coronavirus, because it's the way it works. I mean, it makes you lose your ability to smell things. So I'm gonna give it a try. Yeah, I can smell all of them, so it's good. I may as well fart and test it, but I mean, I trust myself. And 3 things you feel. I feel the microphone just tickling my beard. I feel the cable I'm twisting just to keep calm. Okay, because this is another technique I didn't talk about, because it's simple. I mean, you just grab something and you twist it. And I feel my pride just slipping away from my body. So those are things I could feel when I was arrested.
Oh.
I could see the cold cell bars, the old bed, and the hissing cockroaches. Yep.
I see.
Yeah, it was really, really good for me to go to that kind of jail, because if I were black, they would have treated me so much worse.
Oh shit!
Definitely.
Oh no.
Thank you so much for your time.
Oh,
Appreciate
you're
it.
welcome. Thank you. I learned quite a bit from that. Patrick, what do you think about that presentation?
I feel like I learned so many helpful tips and tricks to deal with my stress. You know, I gained, this really wonderful motivational poster photo. You know, now that's in my mind. And whenever I need to really like motivate myself, I'm just going to think of, this guy with the penguin hat in the table with the lightsaber.
Right, yeah. A brilliant presentation.
Yeah,
And now
I'm clapping. I don't know if you could hear me clapping, but that was me clapping.
we
It can
can.
be misunderstood, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Um, now, Patrick, it is your turn to return the favor and give us a presentation of your own. So I'm going to share my
Let's do it.
screen.
I'm excited, guys. I'm gonna really blow you away with my presentation about how to meet people. I know, we haven't gotten to know each other very much so far, but one thing I have picked up from both of you is that you don't have any friends and you're sad and alone, and you're like, how are we gonna meet people? And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here today, to teach you
You couldn't
how
be more
to meet some
accurate about
people.
me, Pat.
So let's get into it. Let's get into this presentation. So the first way to make friends is just to give them money. That's one way to get people to like you. Whether you just approach somebody in the street and hand them some cash, or if you decide maybe the best way to meet people is to hollow out the inside of an ATM, maybe make it homey, set up a little couch, a television inside, And then when people come to get out money, you give them the money, but you also give them your phone number at the same time. That's maybe one way that you could make friends. But what's important to remember generally when you're trying to meet people is that people like money. Money is something that people really love. So you just give them some money and then maybe they'll like you a little bit more. And if you keep giving them money, they'll probably keep hanging out with you. So that's a good first step in meeting people. And and so but there's more. Let's don't worry, there's more than one step. So the next thing that you're going to need to do, like if you want to meet people, is you're going to need to take care of your personal appearance. So look, people, here's the sad truth of the world. People want to hang out with other good looking people. Okay. You know, but the good news is if you don't feel confident with your looks, there is a way for you to actually help improve your looks, and that is with a crepe mask. People are really into crepe masks. So if you you know, get some crepes or make some crepes and then cut some holes out for your like your eyes and your nose and your mouth and put it on your face, people are going to think that you're, you know, more attractive than if you didn't have the crepe on your face. And a fun fact that people don't know about crepe masks is actually that it helps to moisturize the skin, and it's just going to, you know, help the bags under the eyes, the wrinkles. So crepe masks are really, that's another great way to help improve your looks, which is another way to help to meet people. So are you guys with me still? Is this making sense? Money,
No, I
good
could
looks.
see. Yeah, it even works on dogs.
Yeah.
This looks so much easier than my presentation. So yeah, you're explaining so clearly. Like, yeah.
Well, look, I'm kind of an expert in meeting people, and okay, so this next slide is also a kind of, it's in the same lane. So like money is important, but looks are really important. They're so important that I felt like I should include 2 slides. And so we kind of covered the face, like it's important to have a good looking face. But what about the body? People also want to hang out with people who have nice bodies. You know, and I'm not here to body shame anybody. I'm just saying that, you know, if you dig into the research and the statistics, people mostly want to hang out with people that have nice bodies. And that's just the science. It's the sad truth, but it's the science. So we have to accept it. Because I believe on Sammy's Saga, we believe in science, do we not?
We do, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so we believe in science. So then the science is that people like to hang out with people that have nice bodies. And so one way that we can do that is, you know, if you don't want to go with the conventional route of like diet and exercise and like hard work and discipline, you could also just buy a fake body and wear that. And that's another nice way that you can meet people, and they'll think like, wow, what nice pecs and what good abs. Maybe I'll be friends with that guy, especially if you were to give me some money, then I would really want to be friends with him. So, you know, these are just some of the tips. And I have to, I just, you know, I want to check in with you guys. Do you feel like you're learning something? Do you feel like you can implement this into your own life?
Yeah.
If
I just
I
want
give
my
out all my
presentation to be
money,
helpful.
well, Pat, if I give out all my money to other people just to meet them, how can I buy myself some nice apps? Like the picture?
Well, look, but budgeting is hard. You got to budget for the abs and to give money away. It's, you know, and, you know, the other thing is to give people money in low denominations, you know, a lot of bills, but in low denominations. So I guess in Italy, you have the euro. So the best you could do is like €5, you know, give out just like €5 bills. Because coins, people are not going to want to be friends with someone who's giving them coins. Everybody hates coins,
so.
you know?
Right.
So it's got to be a €5. Sammy, for you in the States, you could give a dollar bill, you know, a dollar bill, just give them a couple dollar bills. That it has the illusion of a lot of money. But let's keep the presentation moving, shall we? I know you guys want to keep learning about how to meet people. So this is fun. I know you guys know that obviously we kind of met and were able to do this podcast through my relationship with both of your mothers. And so I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how I met your mother, actually. So here's the thing. I am a foodie. I love eating. And so I was eating out of a dumpster at a Chevron gas station when suddenly this woman, who I will say she was a little bit overweight, and honestly, she could have used a crepe face mask, if I'm being honest. Like my first judgment of her was like, you could use some fake abs and a crepe face mask. But so she confronts me, and you might be wondering, like, why? Why did she confront me? And the reason is she wanted to know if I could share the hot dog I'd found in the dumpster. And, for her, sharing a hot dog turned into sharing a few other things. And, I was like, well, I'm almost done eating this hot dog, but maybe I've got another one for you. And now we've been married for a week. So it's a happy story. And it's also, honestly, it's a good business deal. She comes from a wealthy family. She was kind of really eating out of the dumpster more for kicks, It was for her, I think dumpster eating was kind of a thrill-seeking behavior. For me, for me, the dumpster eating was out of necessity because I gave away all of my money to people to try to get friends and meet people. So it's a good financial situation for me. I can leech off of her family money. She gets a visa. So it just works out all around. So that's how I met both of your mothers. I think now we could continue the presentation, because I know you're thinking that would be the end of the presentation, but there's more. Would you guys say that there is more? Like, if I said there's more presentation, would you say yes, or would you guys say no?
Yes.
I'm taking a risk by saying no.
Wow.
Well, I learned so much already.
Really...
I mean, the dumpster trick, the hot dog in dumpster trick, it seems so effective. I mean, you married two women in a very short amount of time. So why should we move on? I mean,
attractive.
Nothing more I can say.
I think you're right. This nice anecdote about the dumpster really does prove that, my strategy and philosophy of how I meet people, it works. It's kind of like a testimonial, and so you guys can see, and so I could understand why you would think there wouldn't be any more presentation, but actually you are wrong. There is more presentation. And it's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. These things happen. We all make mistakes, but there is more presentation. And that another good way to meet people is online. And you can see in the reflection of this man's glasses that he's online right now. And online is a great way to meet people. There's nice guys online, cool guys online, just no creeps, just cool, good guys. If you're a kid who's listening right now, don't be scared to get online. Meet somebody online. There's lots of cool people online. Get into it. Online is a great way to meet people. And those friendships and relationships are really just as meaningful as any of these, so-called in-person or like dumpster relationships. So that's the next part of the presentation. Is I just want to say, don't be afraid to meet people online.
Right.
And maybe we're ready to go on to the next slide in the presentation. Okay, this is another important point. So we've gone over, people like money. People want you to have a good-looking face. They want you to have a good-looking body. It's, dumpster diving, dumpster eating is a great way to meet people. Going online is a great way to meet cool, good people who will definitely not harm you. And another great way to meet people is, through food. Food is the common language of the world. And, here's the thing. People want you to meet in a restaurant. They want you to meet at a cafe or whatever. But if you really want to develop intimate relationships, intimate friendships, the best place to eat is in bed. Because eating in bed is cozy. Eating in bed is intimate. And And the other thing is, in these times of Corona, we need to be social distancing. So it's not safe to necessarily go to a restaurant, but if you meet a friend online, invite them over to your house and to have a meal in bed together. The bed is the new dumpster. That's what everybody's saying, is that the bed is the new dumpster. And that's a great place to share a meal with someone and maybe meet someone special that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So, food, that's another great way to meet people, and invite those people over that you met online to eat some food in your bed together. And that's going to really lay the foundation of a beautiful friendship. Or maybe more. I don't know. I don't want to put you into a box or a category. It's up to you and the person that you meet online to decide what kind of relationship you're going to have. And you would think that the presentation is over, but there is more, isn't there? Yeah, that's right. So here's the other thing, guys. I feel like we've hit a lot of the basics.
So cursed. This is just cursed.
Like, hey, you know what? I listened respectfully to your presentation. I just like a little respect. This is important stuff, okay? The people need to know how to meet people. And the other thing is that if you want to meet people, it's good to go to the Old Town Road, okay? The Old Town Road is a great place to meet people, and fun people who like animals, maybe people who could, I don't know, sell you something, entrepreneurs of a certain type, I guess you might say. And that's an important part of meeting people is business, is transaction. Most of friendships are transactions. And so, go to the Old Town Road, buy something from somebody who's standing on top of a horse, selling goods and materials, and then take those goods and materials back to your house and do what you will with them and enjoy that experience. And you've started a friendship. So the way you meet people is really, it's kind of a pyramid, and we kind of like started at the top of the pyramid, and now we're descending our way down into kind of more and more of the just base levels of how to meet people. And we do, I believe, have a little bit more for you guys to learn about. Yeah, that's right. There's the law of attraction.
The last one.
I almost forgot. I know you guys wanted to know about the law of attraction. You guys keep interrupting and saying like, yes, but what do we get to the law of attraction? And I'm like, I'm getting to it. This is the base of the pyramid. We're now at the foundation of how do we meet people, and it's attraction. As we've established with the face hotness, the body hotness. Now, I am trying to establish a law that does not allow ugly people to date, called the law of attraction. And I think we've already covered in this presentation, I'm not a fan of ugly people. I feel like they're not adding anything to our society. I wish, if we could, I would just, get rid of the ugly people. I think friendship and relationships and, the meaning of life is basically being attractive.
Sorry, Pat. I have to interrupt you. If you're not into ugly people, then why did you marry Sammy's mom? I just don't get it.
Well, okay, so I was trying to explain this to you. If you let me,
why did you marry Stefano's mom?
You're welcome.
The reason I married both of your mothers is, again, the first thing is the attractiveness, the face attractiveness, the body attractiveness. But as we've established, the other part of the equation that is important is money and transaction. And so, the wealth and visa security that I was able to, get from both of your mothers, that was really important to me. So, that's the second part of the law of attraction. It's getting rid of all the ugly people, but then making sure that you can also use people for their money or their goods and materials. And that's my presentation on how to meet people. And I really hope that you guys can take these lessons that I've given you out into the world and use them to finally make some friends.
Well, thank you. That was really helpful.
Yeah,
I did my best. I hope
I
I answered your questions well, Stefan. Like I hope did that make sense for you?
Well, sort of. I mean, we have to accept it. Like it's law. So
yeah, exactly.
okay.
It's a law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you both of you for presenting those. That's very interesting. And now we're gonna move into a new game on the Sammy Saga comedy podcast called Breaking News.
Woo!
Yeah, where I sort of play as the reporter, and you guys have to embody the scenario that I toss at you, and you guys will see at home how this works. Patrick, I'm gonna have you go first. You guys will catch on at home really quickly to this. So it goes something like this. Breaking news! Professional Jenga player and binocular owner Pat spoke out last night about his first and devastating loss in his Jenga career. We take you live to Pat.
Well, first thing I have to do is give it up for the big man upstairs. Tough loss tonight. Really, really, pretty devastating. But by the grace of God, I'll be back. I will keep playing Jenga. I gotta, also give a big shout out to my wife and my kids. Who've supported me since day one, since back when I was just playing with Legos. And now that I'm in this crazy world that is the Jenga game, I gotta say, obviously I'm devastated by this loss, but it's just I gotta get back to work, gotta get back in the lab, just keep practicing pulling those bricks, and I gotta let my fans know I will be back. This won't be the last that you will see of me in the Jenga world. I will keep grinding, and I gotta promise I won't let my fans down. And one more time, I do gotta give it up for the big man upstairs. Thank you.
Some wise words from Patrick.
Yeah, it's funny because his career didn't just fall into pieces. He's trying to get back.
In other news,
shout out to him.
In other news, the CEO of racism finally changed his mind, and countless others, after a very insightful experience with his cat named Jib, and that man is Stefano.
Yeah, well, I don't want to appear, so could you please modify my voice?
Yes, of course.
So, I had this very cool cat that I loved, and after a while saw him grow up really, really fast. And by the time I'm talking, he's like, oh, you have retarded units in the United States. Let me think. It's like 1,000 pounds of weight. And then I found out it wasn't a cat, it was a polar bear. And as you know, well, I just learned it. I bought him because it was white. But polar bears have black skin. And since I didn't want to go around and be seen as that guy who, got fooled, I preferred to just turn all my life around, and now I'm into black guys. But
good for you.
Oh, some very wise words from.
Yeah.
Yes, Queen.
And In other news, once again, lots of news today. The director of Pirates of the Caribbean explains where all the skeletons on set actually came from. And that director's name is Patrick.
Yes, hi. Thank you so much for having me. Great question. A fun little known fact about the skeletons from Pirates of the Caribbean is we actually contacted the Department of Justice, and we said, we're going to need a lot of skeletons, and they were like, no problem. We are waging all these wars. We're just killing so many civilians, and we don't do anything with their bodies. If you want the skeletons, you can have them. So those skeletons are actually the skeletons of really hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians that have been murdered by the United States government and then used and honored by getting to be on the big screen in Pirates of the Caribbean. And Johnny Depp actually personally murdered 50 different homeless people because we ran out of skeletons at one point in filming, and we were just in a tight pinch going over budget, and Johnny Depp said no problem. He just went out in the street, just murdered these homeless people. We used their skeletons, no problem. And so that's just a little fun fact that the fans get to know about Pirates of the Caribbean. It's in the DVD extras. We have some footage of the skeleton collecting, but that's just a little kind of a fun fact from Pirates of the Caribbean. And something I think a lot of Johnny Depp fans didn't know about him is that he would really go above and beyond for a production if he needed to.
Oh, cool. So now I see that they're planning to make a sixth movie based on all the police brutality victims, right? That's all a plan. Correct. I mean, damn it, world order. Wow. It's all set up.
So that was a very interesting story by Patrick. And now that's basically everything. Those are both of the games, and I hope everybody at home has enjoyed listening to this because it's absolutely hilarious. At the end of every podcast, I usually like to get just a little bit of intel. Which game did you guys like more? Because we have Slide Ride, the first one, and then this one, which is called Breaking News. Stefano, which one did you like more?
Well, from based on what I feel I can be better at, I enjoyed it more this last one, the news, because I like to mock characters. I like to do impressions and all that stuff. So I think it gives me more freedom to just be somebody and just get into a character and make up something funny. And I'm not saying that I'm good at it, but I've always been quite talented, just a little bit talented in imitating, in mocking accents and voices. So I really enjoyed it. That was really fun. The presentation as well, but it's quite not as much as the news cycle.
Okay. And Patrick, really quick, which one do you have a preference for, real quick?
I also like the news one. I think that was fun, and it gives you a chance to do some different things. And anyone who's still listening, check out my YouTube channel, LaughatPat. Thank you.
Yes, definitely.
Cappucino at 6.
Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you later.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Bye.